How's it going, everybody? This is Nathan from Kit & Equipment. We are Northern Kentucky and Greater Cincinnati's elite Cub Cadet dealer, and today we're going to be talking about the Cub Cadet Ultima ZTS steering wheel zero turns. So at first look, the Ultima ZTS might be kind of interesting looking. The reason for that is this steering wheel system. Check this out. So the Ultima ZT is a zero turn, but what makes it unique is the front axle is actually controllable by this steering wheel. Everything behind this steering wheel is exactly the same as a regular stick zero turn. You have two different transmissions, and you have linkages that control those transmissions, but instead of those linkages being controlled by two individual sticks, they're controlled by the steering rack. The reason for that, and the reason Cub invented it years ago, was somebody who wanted the convenience of a zero turn and the turning radius that it gives, but maybe they weren't used to using those sticks. So it drives just like a lawn tractor. You have a steering wheel and you have a forward and reverse pedal. The other unseen benefit, and not one that Cub knew about when they invented it, but have slowly learned, especially in areas like ours with a lot of hillside, is these perform much better, night and day better, than the stick units do on hills. So we'll talk about that a little further next. Okay, so this is a regular Ultima stick unit. The way it works, and the way all stick zero turns work, is this stick controls that rear wheel, and this stick controls that rear wheel. The benefit of that, and the reason that is a zero turn, is you can control those wheels independently. One can move forward and one can move backwards, and that's what allows you to turn and pivot on a dot. If you look at a steering wheel unit, it's going to do the same thing, but that linkage that runs to the back from the steering rack tells those wheels what to do the way your sticks would. So the benefit of that is the ability to get a full zero turn without having to use the sticks. The hillside use is also very interesting. We're going to go back and look at this one. So if you look at a regular zero turn, these front wheels are completely free floating. There's nothing that connects them to the rest of the machine besides just this caster here. So if you go down a hillside or across a hillside, what you'll notice is you can't steer because those front wheels are going wherever they want, and if your rear wheels lose traction, you're completely stuck going where it wants you to go. It's not really dangerous. You don't see a lot of people getting really hurt on these because they are so low and so wide, but it definitely gets stuck a lot. If you have hillside and any experience on these, I'm sure you found yourself stuck in the position where you're going down and you can't turn out of where you're going, so you have to pull yourself back out with something else. Or if you're going across, the front end tries to nose its way down, so you have to overcompensate with your rear wheels, and if those lose traction, you're stuck. With these front wheels on the steering wheel model, they have a fixed position. You also notice that they're treaded. So they will hold you going across a hill, and they will guide you if you're going down a hill. It is so different that if you take that stick model and try to go across a hillside and it barely keeps itself straight or might get stuck, this will go in the same spot and drive around in a circle. So how does the Ultima lineup divvy up with the steering wheels? Every single stick unit almost has a comparable steering wheel unit to go alongside it. So you have a ZTS1 and ZTS2. All the ZTS1s are going to be available in 42, 46, or 50-inch decks. The ZTS2s start at 50 and then have a 54 and a 60-inch option. The operator station of the ZTS is really well laid out. You have an adjustable steering wheel to get on and off and to sit where you'd like. Your seat will move back and forth, so you can get on this thing and sit comfortably, even well above 6 feet tall. We have many customers who are taller than 6 foot on these. You have a forward and reverse pedal and a deck lift on the left-hand side, and then you have your deck height adjuster up out of the floor. It's built into the left-hand side here. On this side of the operator station, you have a very simple control panel with a push-button PTO, a throttle, and a regular key switch. You'll notice this key switch looks a little bit different than the stick units. It does have a reverse override like a lawn tractor does. So if you're mowing grass and you hit the reverse pedal, you need to override this key or else it'll shut off. So it's easy to do. You just put the key in the center position and hit a button, and as long as the button's on, you can just go back and forth. Very simple. You also have an e-brake right here. It kind of works like a regular lawn tractor where you have a parking brake to sit when you get on and off of it. So they've put it right here, hand accessible, so you just pull the brake back to lock and push it forward to unlock. The seat is also really nice on the Ultima series. It's padded and has a 20-inch backrest, and all the Ultima ZT2s are equipped with armrests. These armrests are optional. They can be added to the ZTS1. All the Ultima steering wheel units and lab bar units also come with a standard trailer hitch. It's the same one you'd see on a lawn tractor and can pull all the same attachments and implements. All Ultima ZTS1s are going to have a Kohler 7000 series engine with a horsepower that's matched to the deck size for optimal performance. They're also going to have a Hydrokier EZT 2200 transmission, pretty standard on all residential zero turns. The Ultima ZTS2 is going to have a Kohler 7000 series Pro engine with a little heavier internal and a different air filter system, as well as an upgraded transmission, a Tough Torque TZ350 that is serviceable. It's going to have a little more lifespan, a little more ground speed, and a little more power. I always say on zero turns, the transmission is the most important component and the one most worth upgrading. It's the thing that does all the work. It's constantly torquing and going back and forth. The engine just has to start and run. Serviceability is great on the Ultima, just like the stick unit. Because it has this square tubular frame, you don't have those fenders in the way, so you can get to the engine access very easily. Filter, fill and check, and there's a drain already built in underneath. You don't have that little tube you have to stick on the side to drain the oil off. You can also get everything else on the machine right under the seat. So the seat moves up out of the way. You have your battery, your solenoids, your switches, and your fuel tank all right here. So serviceability is really easy. The decks on the ZTS series Ultimas are all fabricated, so they're heavier steel. They're an open air deck with a great cut quality. They have adjustable anti-scop wheels and a really simple quick attach system. It's easy to take the deck on and off. Your 42 and 46 inch decks are 2-blade systems. The 50, 54, and 60 inch is a 3-blade system. The deck height adjuster on these is really clever. You're seeing the whole industry kind of move towards a foot-operated lever. The reason for that is it can be accessed while you're moving. If you come up on something you don't want to mow, you just use your foot and get the deck up out of the way. And then Cub has a really clever system to adjust the height. It's what I call the pumpkin. It's basically just this little dial here that has 1/4-inch increments, and you can sit those specifically where you want and let the deck down, and that's where it sits. So it's really easy to move all the way up and all the way down, and you don't have to pull any pins or anything to adjust the height. Another neat feature on all these residential Ultimas is this little tool. It comes standard and sits right on the operator's station, and it's used to access all kinds of maintenance points and do little adjustments on the machine. So the big one is the floor pan. You hit that bolt with it and open the floor pan, and you have access to the top of the deck for changing spindles or cleaning off, adjusting belts, anything. As well as some stuff for the steering or the pedals. So it's just really clever that they include that. The Ultimas also have a fantastic factory warranty. 3 years, bumper to bumper, with no hour limit, and covers all parts and labor. Just like the other residential products, they're also made very close to us in Southern Ohio, so we get really great support, fast part lead times, and really easy fulfillment. So that's the information on the Cub Cadet Ultima ZTS series. To see more or to get accurate pricing, visit our website at kentonequipment.com or give us a call or stop by any of our 2 locations, one in Independence, Kentucky and the other in Dry Ridge, Kentucky. Thanks.